Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. We'll get started here. My name is Jake Kundert. I'm the Food Systems Director at the Iowa Valley RC&D. And today we're doing a Boost webinar on creating easy social media graphics with Canva. And we're glad you can all join us. I do have a quick poll here in the beginning. I'm curious if any of you have used Canva. So I'm just going to launch a quick poll here. Yes or no if you've used Canva before. Curious, and also will kind of help us think about how to go forward with this training. Okay. So it looks like none of the current participants have ever used Canva. So great. Well, we're excited to share it with you. This is one webinar in a series of 8 that we're doing this fall. We've done the majority of them so far. We have just today's one on Canva. And then next Tuesday, we're going to do one on events that will be led by our partners up in Northeast Iowa. And I'm going to actually post in the chat a link to our YouTube channel. All of these previous webinars have been recorded and are on that channel if you want to look back at those. Those of you that have attended these in the past, this is pretty repetitive, but I'll keep it brief. This Boost program has a couple different components, one of which is this webinar series, and we also do a coaching program, and we are accepting applications for the accelerated program, which will start here in February. And this is just more in-depth training on using social media to promote your market or farm business. And applications are available at the link down here below, iowavalley.rcd.org/boost, and it's free. So we hope if you're interested in getting some more feedback and training and help with social media, we hope you'll join us. So today we are talking about Canva, which is a pretty incredible, mostly free option. There's a kind of a pro option if you want to spend some money and get some other fancy tools, but there's a pretty nice, savvy, useful free option, and has a lot of potential to use in creating design and imagery for your market that you can post on social media. And I wanted to give a shout out and thanks to the Washington Farmers Market for helping us co-host this webinar and helping us get the word out about it. So thanks to Bob and the people down in Washington for helping us do that. So now I'm going to pass it over to Emily Stokel, who is one of our Boost coaches and will lead this training on Canva. And if you do have any questions throughout the training, you can feel free to type them in the chat, and I'll moderate that chat box. And then at the end, we'll have time to ask questions, and you can unmute at that point and ask questions as well. So I will pass it over to Emily.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. I am going to share my screen with you. All right, so today we're talking about Canva. It sounds like everyone here is new to Canva, so that's exciting. It's a really useful tool and pretty easy to use, so I think it'll be very helpful for you. So basically what it is it's an online user-friendly drag and drop graphic design tool. So you can start with templates or you can start with Scratch, and the core features of it are 100% free to use. So you can make these graphics and download them, and it's all free. You can get preset sizes for various social media posts, which I'm going to show you. So it already knows what the size of a Facebook event photo is, for example, and you can download those all for free. Some of the graphics and things like that are included with the Pro version, but you also have the option, if you want to use one of those graphics one time, to purchase it for a very low cost as well. So it's really easy to use and very low cost. Okay, so I am going to take you over to my Canva account for today's webinar, but just to go over the basics, you'll want to create an account. Canva.com is the website. You'll create an account, and this is what your homepage looks like. So you can see that there are templates for things like an Instagram post, an Instagram story. So these things are coming already pre-sized for what those formats are, for example. So pre-formatted Instagram post. I am gonna take you over to my Canva account now. Oops. So, okay, so this is what the home page of my Canva account looks like. Looks like right now it's very holiday focused, but you can kind of get the idea here that you have some, basic templates that you can start in. So these are sized for Instagram posts, for example. These are already pre-sized for Facebook posts, but everything down to posters, flyers, Instagram stories, if you want to create a logo, if you're starting very much from scratch, if you need a template for a PowerPoint presentation, Facebook cover photo, the options here are really, really endless. So I'm just going to show you, for example, what going into an Instagram photo or an Instagram post looks like. So I have here pulled up one of the Instagram post templates. So this is already pre-sized to be for the Instagram template square. You can see that I can hover over any of these shapes in the template and say my colors are orange and yellow. And so I want to change this pink one to be yellow. I can very easily make changes to the template that Canva provided me without having to do a whole lot of extra work. Say my sale is actually 20% off. I can very easily edit that right here to adjust it for what I need. Or, say I'm not running a sale at all, but I just want to say, come to the market on Sunday, and I want to resize that. It's very easy to start with something that you like the look of, but then make adjustments to make it fit your brand or make it fit the message that you need it to. You have the option, of course, to play around with font, all sorts of various fonts, sizing, color. This is a really nifty tool that Canva does. It keeps track of your document colors. So these are the other colors that are currently on this graphic. So as you saw, when I wanted to change that graphic to orange, I didn't have to fuss with trying to find the specific orange that I was using before. It remembered that for me. You can also set your brand colors. So this is for another brand that I manage. They have their 2 brand colors and I've set them in there. Or you can just pick any colors that you want from your color wheel. You can play around with fonts. You have all the font options here, and you can even give your fonts some fun effects like shadow drops and things like that. So you can kind of get as fancy with this as you want. I'm also going to show you now how to upload photos and insert them in there. So if you want to insert this stock photo, for example, of this happy person into your graphic, you can just upload that media, drag and drop it here into your graphic, and place it where you want it to go. I'm just going to put that there for now. So that's how you can upload your own photos, or you can use Canva Photos. So if you need to search for vegetables, you can find a photo that Canva provides and use that instead. So you'll hover over this and you'll see that this one is free, for example. So I can just drag that right over there and I can use that in my graphic without paying anything else. You see this one is Pro. So if I do want to use this one, it's going to have watermarks over that. You can see that here. If I want to remove the watermarks, I either have to upgrade to Pro or I have to pay to use this graphic. But there are tons of free graphics available, so you can choose from them there. So those are how to use the photos that come in Canva. You can also use your own shapes. This graphic here, it had various shapes, but if you wanted to make your own shapes or add your own icons, you can do that. We kind of showed you how to play around with adding text, but this can also be used in videos. You can add music, all sorts of fun features. For the purpose of social media, I'm assuming that you're going to mostly be using this for Facebook and Instagram, so you'll probably be sticking to these top fields. You even have the option of, so you can see here that we're working in Instagram templates. I had selected this Instagram template, but if you're scrolling through these, and see, that was the one that I picked. If you're scrolling through these and you're like, I don't really love any of these, you could search, for example, farm, and you could see, okay, what did they come up with? And maybe you could start with this one. You think this seems like a good starting place for you. And as you can see, it even adapted my font, like it had already adapted my language that I had into this new template. It kept come to the market on Sunday for me. And so I don't even have to start from scratch to play around here. Of course, I can always undo that, or I can go back. So there's really endless options, and we'll open it up to questions if you have questions about how to use a specific feature. But I am going to take us back to PowerPoint now. So the last thing that you want to do is you will, and you'll have this PowerPoint presentation afterwards on the YouTube channel. So if you need to go back and say, where were these features? This is how you download your finished graphic. So once you're done, you can download this here. The graphic will be saved as like a JPEG to your computer, and then you can very easily upload it on Facebook or Instagram, just as though you would upload any other photo that you want to use. So when to use Canva, this is a great option, for example, if you want to use the same design across various social media pages, because they come templated. So you can use those pre-sized templates to have a Facebook cover and an event cover photo, all that looks the same but has the different sizing. It's very convenient for stock photos. It's convenient for making infographics. It's even convenient for making photo collages of your own photos, because you can just upload them and drag and drop them into those pre-sized templates. Beyond social media, this can even be a useful tool. So, those, like we saw, those templates aren't just for Instagram and Facebook. You could also use this to design a brochure in-house, design a business card, make an event flyer. So you could make an event flyer, but then you could use those same graphics for your social media event. So then the graphics would look the same, whether that person was seeing it in person, at the grocery store, or they then came on Facebook later and saw that their friend was going to that event. It would have that branded consistency across platforms. But you could also use it for making invitations, menus, things like that. So it has a variety of uses, not just strictly on Instagram and Facebook. But those are kind of the two that I wanted to showcase for you today. So that's all that I have prepared to share with you, but maybe it would be useful if you had questions about how Canva worked, or you have something that you might be trying to design, and then I could just show you within Canva how we might achieve that.
Great, thanks, Emily.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to, you can type in the chat box. Otherwise, you should feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question if you have one.
Definitely.
While people are kind of thinking about questions they might have, I'm kind of curious how you think about how frequently do you use Canva within your feed? Like, is this something that you want? Is there a limit to how much you want to use these images compared to other kinds of content that you'd share on your page?
Sure, that's a good question. So I typically use Canva for things that need to be branded, if that makes sense. So, if I want to share a picture of me at the market, I don't necessarily make a whole Canva just to put that picture on a nice template and share it on Facebook. I'd probably just share that photo of me at the market. But if I have an event coming up or a sale coming up or something like that where I want it to be eye-catching and I want people to see it on Instagram and see it on Facebook and see the Facebook event and say, oh yeah, that's that winter market that I keep seeing everywhere. That's kind of the time that I would use Canva, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can kind of see that if you're scrolling through some of their examples. A lot of these are for sales or events or things like that that will have a specific branding as opposed to just your day-to-day posts about what's going on at the farm or going on at the market.
I feel like I noticed that some of the things that I'll post that are from Canva tend to get a little bit less engagement than some of my own pictures. But I guess the value of it is you're getting that message out there immediately. When people are scrolling, it's the first thing. It's the thing they see. They don't need to read what your text is.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's true. I think one downside of Canva is that this post could in effect come from anyone. You know what I mean? Unless your logo is really clear and your branding is really clear, this post could come from any account. So I think that's why the engagement drops a little bit. But what I think it's really useful for is consistency. So if you start using templates, if you start using brand colors, you start to make yourself a little bit more recognizable. Or like you said, if you just need to get something out fast, Merry Christmas, from the market or something like that. You just want something nice and simple. You've got great templates to work on.
Great.
Yeah. I love using it so if we go to the templates feature, hover over this, you can see all the different sizes that it comes preset for. So, I mean, I always do my holiday cards in here, for example, but you can also, like I was saying, the Facebook cover photo. Facebook changes the size of what its cover photos are supposed to be all the time, but Canva has the up-to-date information on that. So you don't have to worry about sizing and resizing. You can just go to Facebook cover here and it'll say, do you want to start from scratch or do you want to take someone else's example and work on your own? And you have either option.
So say you like your current cover photo, but it got updated. How would you use that? How would you take that one and then get the sizing updated through Canva?
Yeah, so what I would actually do is download that cover photo from your social media account and then go into Facebook cover templates, make a blank one, and then upload your template. So you would be uploading it as an image and then you would resize it to the size of this box.
Got it.
That makes sense. Because everything here is drag and drop. So you can just, you would upload that photo and then you would just, change the size of it to meet these new sizes.
What about some of the animations on here? Do those transfer over into your posts?
Yeah, so let's take a look at animations. That is videos. No. So these are just like stock videos here. But if you want to do, let's see if I have an example.
All the few on stickers, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
That move.
They do, and they even have some templates that move too. Let me see if I have one saved here. Yeah. So here, so you can kind of tell if they're an animated one because they have the play button. And so like this one is going to have some animation. So you can use this template. And so say I love this animation, but I want to change the background color. I can click on that background color and I can say make that white. And then I'm gonna make the font red. And I'm gonna change it to say market on Sunday. But then you have all these lovely little animations. And then this is designed to be used for Instagram stories. So you can download this and then just post that right to Instagram stories and it will have that movement. It's really cute.
Cool. Well, if there's no questions, I might close us out here.
Alrighty.
So again, this this project's a collaboration with our office, the Iowa Valley RC&D and the Northeast Iowa RC&D, and these are the contacts of all of us who work on the project. So you should feel very welcome to reach out to us with any questions. And Emily's contact is at the top here. I'm going to launch a poll here that just has 2 questions on if you learned something in this webinar that you'll use in your social media marketing, and if you'd recommend this webinar to a fellow manager or vendor. So if you wouldn't mind taking that poll before you leave us today. And then just wanted to thank you all for joining us and thank the USDA Farmers Market Promotion Program grant for helping us fund this work.